Welcome to my fourth video. My name is Jensen. Today we're going to start the journey of going through these sketchbooks. All of these I started around college, so I think the earliest one here at the very top started in fall of 2014. We're not going to go through every single one in this video, but I do hope to get to all of them eventually. So today we are going to go through these first two. Before this, I mostly did digital art, so this was my first little endeavor back into the physical arts. And then this is actually with gray paper, so let's get into it. Alright, without further ado, let's get into it. Obviously, if someone were to find it, they would know that it belongs to Dr. Funk, and I would give them smooth listening as a reward. This one is still, you know, a fledgling sketchbook, so I'll probably skip over images that are inappropriate or just too edgy, but for the most part, they're pretty tame. This is gridded paper. It was my first and only sketchbook that's been gridded paper. You'd be surprised how hard it is to find these. It's a Moleskine, so you would think that the gridded ones would come pretty freely, but I never really see them that often. But I tried to get into it, and I actually really liked this sketchbook. Got some edgy writing. Also, at this point in my life, I was doing a lot of song lyrics and quotes and poetry on my pages. I mean, I like it. It's just kind of cringe looking back on it. I feel the same way with if I were to get a tattoo with a word on it. I feel like I just wouldn't like it after a while, so I usually just get flowers or things to represent words. And we got some inappropriate things, so I'll cover that up. It's still artistic, but kind of silly. This, I had just finished playing Paper Mario, so that was inspired by that. These are Lana Del Rey song lyrics, but I was more just practicing my handwriting. I'm very proud of my handwriting, so I gotta show it off. We got A Lady in the City, and then I really started getting into opacity markers around this time. My very first usage of opacity markers is coming up, but I still love them, and it also started my love for alcohol markers in general. Also, this is back whenever Rick and Morty was in its heyday, so you'll find that a lot of Rick and Morty quotes are in here. This was my very first page using those opacity markers. I was using the French Gray because, yeah, I really like France, I'll say it. I'm a fanboy, fangirl. This was from the movie Frank, if you've seen that movie. We got a lot of, you know, just edgy quotes and things, some doodles. I'm still figuring out what to do. At this point, I'm still mostly doing digital. This is inspired by this one Vocaloid song called The Dark Woods Circus. Only real ones will understand. We got some skulls. We got a small person in a big environment. We got some more sketches coming into their own. You know, some of them are pretty good. I like that gazelle. Some more doodles. This might have been the second picture I used those alcohol markers on, because then I later went back in and colored other ones as well. But the paper was definitely not made for it, as you can see, so later on down the line I get different sketchbooks kind of more geared towards alcohol markers, but for now this is what I was working with. This was one of my OCs from back in high school named Janeri, who's like a bunny girl. And this one I guess had a tiny little flower, and that's all I felt like the page needed. Oh, I really like this one. This one's one of my favorites in here. I just thought it came out really cool. And this was also whenever I started realizing that white pens existed, so love me some white pens. I did this page upside down, but I really like how they both came out. We got Janeri again. I really love this one actually. I love the anatomy of it, the pose. It's just really good. This one, she has one dilated pupil and one not. That wasn't on purpose, but the way that this paper works sometimes is if your oils get in it, like your oils from your finger, it can kind of make some different things happen, but I just went with it. I thought it looked cool. These are some octopi, octopuses, octopodes. Sound off in the comments which is your favorite plural of octopus. These were little vignettes for a painting I was thinking of doing. A little goat down there. We got some birds. That one's got a chill beanie on to let us know that he's into indie music. Got some math homework. And then I got a blooper. I drew these flowers and then I got stickers in class for being a good kid, so I put them in there. That's a sky. This is a dress. I actually really like this one. These are some French notes, but I think the silliest part is it says Qui est Jean-Claude? And then I drew someone who I thought would be named Jean-Claude and then drew an arrow, which I think is it's pretty silly. We got some more fringe furry stuff. We got a cat and a little bouquet of flowers, and the cat's, you know what's about to happen. I just thought that was, I've always thought this is a really cool little image. A lot of visual storytelling. I tried to use a wetter medium, but obviously this paper wasn't really made for it. We got some poses. We got some song lyrics. These, actually, that one and that one both became full paintings, so. We got some more poses and, just some fun on this page. I really like these as well. This is a witch making a brew, and then this is her shelf of things in the back. I was really proud of this, especially because I kind of organized her shelves where like her wet specimens were on this, and then she's got her like beakers and stuff, and then her little bottles, and then up here everyone has to have their shelf of just stuff, so all her boxes and everything are just shoved up here. So I thought it was really fun at the time. I had a lot of fun drawing this one. These are the Powerpuff Girls. Really like that side profile. That's a picture of me. I guess they're all pictures of me. That was Yoshi drawn from memory. Pretty often I would forget my actual notebook for class, but I would always remember to have my sketchbook on me. So oftentimes I would just end up having to take my notes in my sketchbook, but I think it helps mark the time and place where I was at. And then I think that's the last of this one. Yeah, so that's all of this one. Here's a little portrait on the back. This one was a lot of fun to do, but I feel like you can start to see where I'm growing my legs in this style. But now we get to start with this second one as the bonus feature. I designed this cover myself as well. If you can tell, it's got kind of this, it almost looks like it's embroidery. And whenever I was using this pen, I was fighting against it at the very beginning, as you can see, because this wasn't an expected thing that it did. It's just, this is kind of a leathery material. So it happened completely on accident. And the more I was working with it, I thought, I'll just let it do its thing. And it's still probably my favorite sketchbook cover out of all of them. I just think it's so clean, and like I said, those little dotted lines look so cool. This is a Strathmore sketchbook. This is whenever my opacity markers and the white pen were both in full effect. I was actually on vacation at this time, and that's the little cup that they give you at the airport. I had a lot of fun with this one, this whole book. I would love to get another sketchbook with toned paper. Neither of these were using any references at all. And that's a really, really good chrysanthemum, and this is a dahlia. But I remember being really, really proud of that. Like, the perspective on that one is super good. No references or anything. Super proud. We got a woman and her umbrella. I struggled quite a bit getting the perspective on this one, but the idea is there. I had a lot of fun with this one. We got, I tried to use wet medium in this one. Again, I think maybe just I was using too much water, because I've definitely seen other people use gouache in toned sketchbooks like this, but I'd be willing to give it another try in the future. This started off, I have a couple of pictures that are a lot like this, where I have this really, really big idea for what I want to do, and then I realize that those kinds of things take a really long time to do. So it was supposed to be like this forest of trees, and then there's kind of this background here that's like this clearing, but further down, so there's a lake down here, and then that goes into its own thing. That was my ambition, right? Forest for the trees, but I only had a little pen, so I guess if I were to do it again, I would block in some bigger shapes before I would go in and doing things like that. But it's still really fun to look back on it and think of what could have been. This was representative of me wanting to look at the sun but not having my sunglasses on. And then I actually really liked how this looked on the other side, that I reinforced it, because I thought it looked like really trippy eyes and then like a nose and mouth. Just doing my job, mum. He's got unicorns on every single little piece of armor, and of course he's a little gnome. I actually really like this one. I like the idea of putting all the stars in kind of a line as well. This was also on vacation. This was our hotel room. We were playing Smash at the time, so you even can see the plane that they're playing on and that they're fighting each other. We got Settlers of Catan over here, and then this was like the extended edition, and then that was the lamp. And then over here, this was the other side of the hotel room, so we got the refrigerator, the sink, the cabinets. I had a lot of fun drawing these, and it's a good little memento of where we were and what we were doing. favorite pen, paint pen that I've ever gotten, which is so funny because now that I think about it, this was my first paint pen I ever used and I really, really liked it. But it's this beautiful light green, gray, blue color. It's just so nice. You'll see it show up a lot in this, pretty much from here forward in here. Oh yeah, and I even wrote Game Changer because it's what I was thinking whenever I used it. Man, that's crazy because I haven't looked back on this sketchbook in a while since I've started using paint pens. So I'm just really caught up on that. That's so cool how much I liked them even back then. And here's some drawings. I love those balloons. One of my friends did this. Tejal, if you're watching this, this is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Both pages are just really fun to look at. She's supposed to be like a fancy lady getting her portrait done. I was trying to work on angles where the person's looking up. I've always kind of struggled with that. I can do, you know, 3/4 views, but looking up or down is definitely a struggle without a reference. So I try to practice as much as I can. Got some eyes with some white pen. Oh, this one's one of my favorites. I love this one. She's just got such a nice color palette. And it's really wispy looking. My friend Margaret drew this one. Shout out to Margaret. We got some faces. I think that's the rest of this one. Alright, that is the last of these two. Tune in next time to see these two, and you'll be in luck because this one and this one are two of my very favorites, and I actually made this one by hand, the book and everything. So I'll end this one here, and thank you for watching, and of course, get home safe.